Hi there, this is Kate in the Nest and welcome to my channel. I hope you are feeling well and whatever you've been doing today or tonight or whenever you watch this, you've had some time to do some making. Kate, as usual, is excited because not only have I been nesting today and actually making some more room in the nest, I've been really inspired to have some fun. And a number of you have been asking for a while about this little pin cushion, and it's one of Quirky Kate's creations, and I think it's just time to have some fun and let's see if we can make some quirky pin cushions. I'm actually thinking of making a hashtag. I don't know how to do that, but wouldn't that be fun if we could share what we were making? The other inspiration, so this is a different sort of nest for me, is I've got the colours of my needlebook that I made with Beck. So they're shining for me. I went past a shop and the other day, of course, you walk by shops, but it was a shop that was a quilting shop. And I'm new to all of this because I haven't been a quilter as such. I'm making a slow stitch quilt now, but that's a long story. But I did notice in the window that they had some teacups and some different quirky dishes with pin cushions in them. So this was my husband's grandmother's teacup, and look at those colors. So maybe this is what's all happening. When I'm looking around my house, I'm thinking, Kate, you've been treasuring things with these colors for a long time. So this one, I'm still using it, so I won't show you that it's inside and stained, but I'm thinking, have you made quirky pin cushions before? Have you made them to go in containers? Because the other idea I have is I also, just from my Oppie shops, collect little glass bowls like this. Some of them are crystal, some of them aren't. My beautiful friend Amelia told me I should be calling this a goblet. And so and I like this because it doesn't take much room. So suddenly Kate's mind, you can see, I've got another one here, going wild. What if we all start, and you've probably done it before, but wouldn't it be fun to make pin cushions that bring joy and we can have them everywhere? I need one in every room. So I'm going to take you through how I made this one. If you can do it already, I would love to hear how you do it in the comments. But this one for me is something that I made, I don't know, a couple of months ago now, maybe, or 6 weeks, because I just needed it to match all my stitching projects. I'm a matchy. By the way, loving a zippered pouch. I'm taking this up to my room now, and I'm putting my threads in there, specs lining, and my scissors set. Okay, so more pouches on the way. Okay, so I've told you this before, I love shows that prepare you to make something and they tell you everything that you need. So let's do one of those Kate style. This might not work out at all, so let's be prepared. So let's deconstruct. This is some of my cream blanket. You don't have to use these materials. You can use anything that you love. And for me, again, it's about using our scraps up. I haven't even decided what container I'm going to make it for yet. But so that's the cream. On here, I used fabric that was in my first vessel. This was an old Vinnie's tablecloth. I've probably run out of most of the pink and the stripes, but you know, depending on the size. So you can see that this is where I've chopped it before. Lots of bits there. But I also, in the cherry mood, I've been using gingham this week. So you know, if you want to be using both sides, it's probably good to look at the grain. Okay, so I've got some ideas for on the bottom. I then had this piece of crochet, which is a large piece. When I say large, there we are, huge. And we don't need to go over this again, but the idea of giving new life. And this is roughly a circle, Kate style, and I put a little daisy in it. So that's that. So wool, some fabric from the bottom, a piece of crochet for me. And the quirky thing that made me happiest, was that I experimented with some of my crochet pieces, because I often crochet and have just used it as an experiment, and I make mistakes. So I've brought a couple down that I've been practicing how to do different stitches, and I'm thinking maybe we could use something like that. This is a piece that I made, I don't know when I made that, but you know, are you getting the idea? And if we have the theme of flowers, quirky flower pin cushions in containers, I wonder what would happen. Okay, so that's basically it. And then on top I've got a little bit of the other blanket. Oh my gosh, this one. Okay, a surround. Okay, so what are we going to commit to size-wise? This goblet is pretty deep. Oh no, I've forgotten something. Hang on, I'll turn off and I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I forgot how to stuff it. So what I use, and again, this is Vinnie's old cushion, and found it, Lincraft old cushion, and I literally use the stuffing out of that. You might have better things. And while I was picking that up from the other room, I came across that piece. It's a beautiful piece of wool that is in one of my kits, so that also make a nice size. And I also came by this hanky that I think was in my mum's package or somewhere else. We could go wild, and we're going to. And in fact, some of my pin cushions might end up on my quilt. So let's get started. I said this was deep. I love this goblet, but it's handy for just bits and pieces. This one is narrower, but I think a bit big. So I'm thinking about this size. It depends. Now let's do a cup. I think a cup size one. Yep. Okay. So we're going to go fast because I made this very, very fast. Now this cup, yeah, let's make it easy. It's the same size as that. I was going to say it's wavy around the edges. So just I'm going to trace 2 circles. It's a bit dark. You may as well experiment with 2, is what I'm thinking. All right, so that's better. And then the material to go underneath. We want a bit of the pink stripe, so I'll just put that over there a bit. I have a pin somewhere. Don't usually pin. And the idea about these is that they are not perfect. They're like everything that I make. I'm trying to just have fun, and I was looking for the bigger scissors. Here they are. Just have fun. So I'm cutting 2 layers at once here. I'm going to go inside the lines because we don't need that pencil. There's nice sharp scissors. I'm enjoying them. They haven't got glue all over them. All right, so quirky circle and underneath there, and can I get another little bit of pink? Oh, what's our diameter looking like? can. All right, so circle number 2, lost you. It's not the end of the world, but I just, you know, if I'm trying to do something again with a little bit of a difference, we may as well. So I'm hoping I've remembered to ask how you are and how all your projects are going. This is, as I said, just a moment. The sun has been out today and I went out in my garden to pick my Daphne, here we are, and my, don't know what those little flowers are called, I do, but I've forgotten, in their little, see, that's Joy, and it actually felt warmer. You know how when you can tell that something is shifting subtly, and while it's not quite spring, it just did feel. And so I'm filming this as the sun is going down. I've lost my very pale circle, so this might end up being a oval. Does not matter. So going back there. Okay, so we have a top and a bottom. Now let's work on the bottom first. Let's find, so far 2 different sizes. I love that. This one's bigger. This one's, yeah, bigger too. Get the pencil out of the way. What did I say we're doing? We're looking at a piece of crochet here, and again, I think I put this on after I'd made it. So we might do that. Yeah, I think we'll do that. After this one, similarly. So let's just get to the making of the pin cushions and go from there. So, okay, it's trying to find the thread, of course, that she threaded earlier. If all gets crazy, follow the lead. There, oh, that's a pink one. That's going to be for the blanket stitching. And I brought that down because I thought I'm not going to do it, but that would also make a lovely pin cushion, sort of naturally in that curve. So that's a little bit of inspiration. I'll give myself a few more seconds, and if there's not a needle on the end of this, there isn't, we will just do this again. Oh. It's a bit like vessels. If you want a little project in the middle of your big projects, just start whipping up some of these. Now, I'm someone who likes raw edges, remember, so if you don't want to do that, just, you can bind them, do whatever you like. So I'm just going to do, it's like a tack, but it's a back stitchy one that you can take out later or leave in. It could be invisible stitch. But again, my style is that I like the stitches to show. And after all, this is, so you can see them. Oh, I did them in the colour there. They, whether you see them or not is your choice. Are my hands in the right place? Yep. So am I very late to the craze of putting pincushions in teacups and crystal? I probably am. But like everything on this journey, I'm just getting more and more excited, and my creative mind is going off at all sorts of angles. And these are they're practical. I mean, this could be a kindergarten project, really. It's pretty simple, everyone. Okay, so we're going to just leave some room here. And I'll grab some of this. I know that if you don't, there's all sorts of things with pin cushions. You could put cardboard in there to stop the pins coming through, all sorts of ideas. But this is how we're doing it. Because for me, this already looks like a flower without colour. So let's You can make them in all sorts of, you can make natural ones. You could make them look like real particular flowers, dahlias or whatever you want. Okay, so I should have stayed with where I was, because you don't want them too puffy. Well, it's going to be smaller. Smaller than I thought, but that's okay. Oh, this, I might be starting on the middle-sized one. I have to thank you for your beautiful comments and encouragement. Honestly, I just feel so blessed that I'm part of this community, that I've been welcomed, and that people are accepting my crazy ways. So I've just gone over that a little bit more, because that's finished. I'm going to pull it out because we're going to blanket stitch around it as well, so do not worry. Okay, let's have some fun. See, I could put one of those medallions on there. That would be quirky and pretty, and with a daisy in there. Let's do that rather than have it exactly the same. So again, Vinnies and Oppie shops are full of these sorts, and they're often cheaper than embroideries. So if you haven't got any, have a check out, and otherwise go through your stash. So the same old thing. We're just going to, we'll come up through, in fact, I'll come right up through the center. And if I haven't said it already, if you wanted to, you could be doing all this work on the flat first, you know what I mean? Like embellish your base and then stitch it together. But I'm a bit impatient for that, and I don't know what it's going to end up like, so I do it this way. And by using crochet, your stitches are not seen. I deliberately want the petals to stay up. Those tiny stitches. Go up there. Just wherever you want to go. Okay, there we are. I'm going to put something else in the middle of that, but I don't know yet. So let's go over to this other side and let's start having some fun here. Okay, this little motif, this is fun. And I will use every bit of this. You know that if I make something and make a mistake, it doesn't go into the bin. It gets used and reused. And listen to the sound of that. You know, and if you don't have access to things like this, you could, what am I trying to say? Granny square blankets and things are very commonly found in my area in the op shops. So it's just an idea, but so there we are. Just give it a bit of a haircut, and that's going to go on there. Where's my needle? And vaguely center it. The light's starting to go on me, so apologies if that's not great. So I'm just really doing big stitches to anchor this flower down. Nearly there. Pull it tight. There we go. All right, I'll bring that up close. So there we are, fringy. We've got our little flower on the back that will need something to match this. So I won't go stay on task, Kate. The thing that I did with this one is then I put a little bit of the blanket in the middle, and let's do that. You're going to get a true, that's worrying me because that was the mistake. You see I made that on that. Everything else is neat. So could Kate's eyes possibly measure a circle? Just tear this for a minute. Oh. And here. Okay, just so I can get a little bit more idea of how big it. I do like the pink. Maybe we do the circle here. I think let's do that. Mightn't even turn out a circle. And this is what I mean. See, with me, I'll try and make the same thing and it just doesn't come out. I suppose that's what you'd say is original. I like that. And I'm going to keep that there for a minute. Okay, so let's get our cotton back in here. I love doing these. I'm saying that's the second one I've ever done. But if we make a bit of a hashtag, then it's just started August. Oh. Just around here, like you can't see it, but it is nice to put, see I put the pins into that top part. Oh, which is why I should be thinking about that for the back. They're in there. Okay, I'll just anchor that. We'll come back and put a daisy or something in there, and I'll just show you. We'll see if we've got time to make another one with some variations. Ooh, happy. I'll stand up and see if you can. Yeah, it's still light enough for you to look at. That's good. Get these little shaggy bits out of the way. See, that's just waiting to be the border on something else. Another idea. I'll put that over there though. Stay on the track, Kate. Okay, so we're going to do, and you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to show you how I did the first one, and then the variations are endless. So I always get stuck when I start blanket stitch. I never know which direction to go, but this is the direction I want to go. I'm thinking you could have petals out the side. Have the girls done pin cushions? I'm sure they would have. Okay, so see how that's coming? So again, for me, it's layer upon layer of the flowers. For you, it probably will be something different that speaks to you. I might have to do 2 threads on this. Sometimes I think if I stitch faster, the thread will go further. Do you know what I mean by that? Like I'll get away without having to change it. I might be a little bit short. And this is, it's a variegated, but it's not as variegated. Oh, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. See that pink coming through? So close. I'm not going to make it. And I'm rushing and pulling those too tight, so calm down, Kate. In fact, I don't like that. So I need to finish that. Now, in the spirit of actually, see, pins can go all the way down there. So question is, do I want a little bit of blanket there in the center or not? I don't think so at this point. So there's number 2. I will put a flower in there, but let's quickly, as a bit of a revision. Oh, see, that's better. That is getting the spirit of the look. I love that. Okay, let's quickly do something different. So I've got this. Let's get some cotton first. I mean, honestly, Kate, there it is. Okay, so here's our I think this one is the larger one. Just go around and leave some space for like the gathering of the flower if you want, or as I said, you could put binding. If you can actually put the seams on the inside, you know, and use it, just make them like a like you would a toy with stuffing or a pouch. See, I'm getting faster and faster. The pin's sticking into me, but look at that. Oh, it just jumped out the needle. Try and get this last bit of sunshine. Because I have no lights on in my studio. Someone said, do you have a studio? I said, no, it's actually, that's why I call it a nest. Because it's one of my son's bedrooms that I have taken over. But I did do some tidying today and I feel good about it. Because I've got lots of projects on the way. And they were all piling up. Can you imagine that with me? Does that happen to you? And you get to the point where you go, actually, you can't keep going with that. There we go. I feel so funny, isn't it? Like, how much is the right amount? I might just do one little bit and you watch, it'll be too much and I'll break it out, but better to be sure and to get it into all the edges. feels good. All right, quick stitch. Yeah, that's right. Katie put the cotton down in the stuffing itself. Okay. And I hope you can see why I like this wool. You can be doing it with fabric, but I just like this as a woolly, it feels comforting to me. A home for the pins. You could easily make a bit of a assembly line of these and do all of this part, or decorate all your things and then randomly have them come together. That would be fun. But impatient Kate likes to treat each one of them as a separate. So what are we going to do this time? I've got this. That looks like a flower anyway. Oh, and I could crochet around the edges of that. Okay, that's option one. I'm auditioning. I've got this square here, which is probably, I mean, I won't do that. Here's this crochet. Here's, if you had a scrap, I'm not going to cut this, but you could always put another row of wool or felt. Here's a little bit of a hanky that you could put over there like that. That would be pretty. But for me, I'm a texture girl, and I'm thinking that we might go this way this time. Look how bold I'm getting. Just freehanding a silly circle. Yep. And then I want something in the center of that. Oh, which might be our, okay, I'm going to do something all in one go. So let's, let's get the pink going. Okay, I'm thinking that we will come up in the center of this, through the wool and underneath, and let's make a big lazy daisy flower. Oops. Little one. Petal two. Sorry, the light is fading so fast. Petal number 3. I'm just going to go and see if I can put a little bit more light. That makes a big difference. So that is anchoring it down. I feel like I need another petal. Over this way. So truly, it's just something to have fun with. I'm going to run out of wool. That's the story of my afternoon. Okay, so we've got this side looking like a flower. And then what are we going to do here? These are just all ideas for you. We could make, you know, a bigger flower underneath. We could put some cotton. Let's see if I can go through this one. Oh, yeah. I hope you have time to be with me. This is a long one, but I'm just trying to show you. You can be as crazy as you want. Be free. Be neat. Be you. Okay, so a little bit of pop of colour there. And if I can stretch a little bit. Oh my goodness. Can you see that? That's a heart. So the waist, I think it is. I think I want our blanket again. This. Or maybe we'll audition 2 little bits. Oh, I could use the brown even. That. No, not the brown. So let's do that. A quick thread up. I'm just threading, sorry everyone, that's why. Look at that little heart container. I've been making hearts, and I think I might, have I showed you the tops of these? Look at these. I'm going to fill them with hearts. I might put them on my website. So if you want some little bits and pieces like this, or hearts and little flowers, you could get some of Kate's Quirky. All right, here we go. I want to, this time, oh gosh, look how long my string is. I'm going to get tangled with that, so let's I want to make a little tiny circle here and maybe a French knot or something, or not. It's round and round into the center. Yeah, so these are like the little, what are those little bits in the middle of flowers called? I can't remember. You can probably hardly see it, but it's worth it to me. And now I'm going to go out. So leave that sort of sticking up like that, and then we're going to go out to the edge of this. And do some just simple running around the edge. Not see too long a thread. Sorry, it's a long one, everyone. You can skim through. But I'm having so much fun that I'm going to carry this project through. There we are. Then, if we wanted, we could embroider and cantha all the way around, and that'll keep looking nice. But for the moment, I'm going to go out to the edge and just remind you that you can blanket stitch. Let's do it on this side first, on this one, so you can see. So bring both sides together. I like this one because it's almost looking like a cup of tea itself. It's tea-shaped. And as someone was saying the other day, we need a needlebook in every room of the house. We need a pincushion. And I know a lot of people have their pincushions in their needlebooks. I like both. And I do like a separate one, especially if I can pop it in a teacup. And I've got one more thing to do. The neighbours are home. Dog is yapping a little. It's been very good lately. Get rid of that. Because I didn't finish the blanket stitch on the other one. I'm trying to be committed and show you all the way on this one. And my circle is certainly not perfect. You can use a compass or trace something to get it better than mine. Oops. I'm going to run that again. Can you believe that? 2 out of 2 times. It's okay. I know you believe me. So here you can see that the stitches are showing. You can make a feature of those, or you can pull them out once it's together, up to you. Now this is going to be very bold, something she's never done. So that's it up close. I want to see what happens when I pull these as little separate petals, because I'm sort of thinking I like the idea of them not being so joined. Feels like you're giving a flower a haircut. I was just thinking I was outside and did a little bit of pruning today. Now, as I said, this is my own work. I don't have any qualms about chopping it up to make art. You don't have to do this, but just play around with your favorite textures. This might be lace for you, but I like that better because the petals are curling up and free to be themselves. Okay, where did we start? We started with the story of a teacup and this already existing pincushion of Kate's, and we've gone through how we can very, very quickly make joy. See, that's going to make me giggle because the yellow is just so happy on that one. So they're in a teacup. This one is different again, double-sided. When I'll show you, you'll see it finished at one point. I'm going to embellish that. That's not strong enough for me, but look at that. There's a cup of tea. Will they go in my... Yep. So let's just play tea parties. I'd actually put something else underneath that. Let's go this one like this to finish. There's a little bit of inspiration. And there's my heart with my existing one. But it doesn't look like a heart. So that doesn't belong in my little display here. There we go. That one's the perfect size. Feeling like the three bears. Okay, there we go. I hope you've had some fun with me. Is that? Oh, we'll do it like that, hey? That's 4 flowers. Thank you so much for being with me. This is Kate in the Nest saying have a wonderful making session. I'm going to encourage you to make some of these. Until next time, bye.